Hey folks, David Stewart here. Time for your daily trending. And today I really don't know what to say very much about what's trending. I think maybe things are getting back to normal because I don't understand anything that's going on, which makes sense because I don't watch TV and I don't really pay attention to pop culture except as it like intersects my field of vision on various social media. So I don't know what this Nicki trending is. Nicki Minaj is trending. I don't know why. Ungodly Hour, I think this is TV. I don't know what this is. Lil Baby, hip hop and rap. I don't know anything about that. Ugly President, more people saying Orange Man bad, right? So they're just going. They've been going for the aesthetic angle from the beginning. It's like not only is he politically wrong, he's evil, but beyond that, he's physically ugly and unattractive. And we can never describe him without trying to body shame him for being not 5% body fat at age 70. Most dudes at 70 are a little overweight or a little loose skin at the very least, right, guys? So the fact that he's always portrayed as literally the ugliest person that ever walked the face of the earth says a lot about what they do with the Donald. I stand with Tucker. This is a bunch of people complaining that supposed white nationalists got I stand to Tucker. They're trying to get I stand with Tucker to trend. They did it, and you help them if you don't like Tucker Carlson. You have certainly helped him to trend. This is one of the funny things is like the nature of attention when it comes to anti-fragility is that the more people who hop on a hashtag to be negative, the more that hashtag gets trending, the more people end up being aware of it, the more it crosses their field of vision, the more that the message behind it actually gets out. People often don't realize this when they are talking about things that they hate, that they're amplifying that. And I've talked about that in the past. It's one of the reasons I don't talk that much about Brand X anymore. You know, when the last Brand X movie came out, I did just a ton of content in that direction because I knew everybody was going to watch it. Then after that, we had a nice long fast. I might do one more because I still owe everybody one more analysis video that I haven't really gotten around to because of, I don't know, things that come up in life. But that's the reality. So as much as people are trying to complain that this is trending, they are making it trend. They are, look, and it already went up. It's getting, and it's K-pop. So this is the other thing. Well, we're going to spam it with K-pop so nobody can follow the hashtag. The reality is most people using Twitter are not looking at strangers. That hashtag will end up showing up more in their related feed because of the way the algorithm works. So spamming something with noise is only really useful if it's like with someone like me where I'm like, let me see what this is, and it's just spammed with noise so I don't know what it is. But for people who are normally using the site, then it doesn't really work that way. It ends up being something that they come in contact with more. R&B and soul trending. The fact that we're seeing pop and music trending and anime, Shaman King anime is coming out. All that stuff trending says a lot to me that like things are kind of I don't know, returning to normal. Orange County says, hey, you guys can like gyms can open up. And what's really funny is that, you know, my local gym was like, they never really got the okay. They just called everyone up and said like, we're opening up. We don't care anymore. Let's open up. Let's lift some weights. And so everything just opened up regardless, like kind of in defiance to the greater authority of everyone's got to shut down. We got to stay shut down for a long time until forever. It's like, okay, well, we did the flattening curve thing. Now we're going to lift some weights. And no one's going to do anything about it because they're just not going to do anything about it. This is an interesting time where we have people like storming Seattle City Hall, and they're able to do that because the police allowed them to do it. You know, there was nobody with any kind of political will to shoot attackers, for instance, right? There's no political will to like fire on protesters, so protesters are pretty much permitted to walk into certain places. I don't think that would fly everywhere, though. Not that they're trying everywhere, but it says a lot to me that it's really, you know, the authorities are allowing people to break ranks. They're allowing them to do those things because otherwise, I mean, the people with the guns are walking away. I guess because they care about people not dying, they'd rather walk away than have to deal with the realities of like standing your ground and and killing people, I guess. An obelisk of wokeness. I don't know what this is. This is something that Tom Cotton said. I don't know. Are we going to rename it the obelisk of wokeness? That's a little bit cringy, but I gotta say, yeah, if we don't like don't like the Washington Monument. Somebody on Twitter the other week was like, "I have expertise in bringing down obelisks. If anyone wants to knock over the Washington Monument," it's like, I don't be that person. Chaz Seattle, this is the people that are like, we're declaring it an autonomous zone, and the media is calling it like a festive area, and it's going to be very interesting when you find out that like there's been like rampant robbery and stuff, because the people who are happy to get along are also mixed in with the people who are not happy to get along. That's the problem with society, is that, you know, the vast majority of people are quite happy to cooperate with others, but there's always those naughty toddlers. You know, there's those couple of people who are antisocial, and they spoil it for everyone. You have to create all of these systems like police to deal with a very, very, very small minority of people who don't play by the rules that everybody else wants to play with. Everybody wants to get along. New Chappelle, I guess. Okay. That's pretty much it. Like, I don't really know quite what else to say. They announced the new PS5, so let me go ahead and I'll show that to you, and we could take a look at a couple of images for the PS5 here. So this is what the new PS5 is gonna look like here. They show it as a vertical thing, and the vertical thing is not going to work for me, but apparently you can put it on its side, and there's like a little stand here. But when I see it on its side, it's like half the side is lifted up off of the table. I can't do vertical because all of my consoles are horizontal, and they sit on shelves under my TV because everything is horizontal and always has been, like since the first VCR, I guess, or even before that, like tape decks and stuff. So all of our electronic equipment has been like my power conditioner is everything's horizontal except for my computer at this point, which is a tower. So this looks like a little mini tower, and I appreciate the aesthetics of it. It really, if you haven't watched the video, it looks pretty cool as far as the aesthetics. I like the white and the black. That's actually something a little bit different from what we've normally seen. But dude, like a vertical system just doesn't really work for me. So when you put it on its side, it's way less attractive. This industrial design, I think, is cool. The controller looks okay. You know, I don't know if it'll feel as good in the hands as the PS4 controller. It looks like it probably won't for me, but it probably will. I'm sure they've tested it a ton. Like, they know what they're doing. This is their 5th iteration of their console. But I kind of appreciate the fact that it has 2 colors. I haven't seen 2 colors really on a console since the GameCube, I think. The GameCube had like a black-purple thing. I haven't really seen color on a console. We had the Xbox 360, which was white. I think there's probably white versions of the Xbox One or Xbox One X. But yeah, I appreciate the aesthetics of it a lot. The thing is, if you go for something that's really aesthetic, like let's look at maybe there's like a side profile we can look at of this. Yeah, like right here. You know, the actual space that you're cramming the computer into is really not very big compared to the overall footprint of this thing. So even though the PS4 is like this boxy trapezoid thing, it really, as a form factor, it really works well. There's a computer in it, and it fits well in that enclosure. I changed out my hard drive a while back because I wanted to put the Final Fantasy VII remake on it, which is massive. It's like 100 and I don't even know how many gigs, like over 100 gigs to download this game. And actually, I didn't even download it. I bought the physical edition, and I still upgraded the hard drive to a couple terabytes. But the hard drive is really easy to change out. The PS3, it was so easy to change out the hard drive. But I look at this and I'm like, it looks like it's not going to be quite as easy. But those form factors made sense for they were big form factors, but there was a lot that was in the case. This one looks quite attractive, but it feels like it's going to be less functional as far as what's going in there. And I mean, really, how often are you sitting there looking at your console? I think not that often, really. Like mine just kind of sits in a shelf below my TV, and I don't really notice it except when I have to like go up and use it. Another reason for white is like white, you can see all the buttons in the USB ports, whereas black, I have to like get a flashlight. I'd be like, where's that USB port? Flip around, get the flashlight on my phone. Where am I plugging this crap into? Black consoles, which Sony's done for a while now, are really not my favorite for that reason, even though like most of my consoles at this point are black. Like I always get the black ones. White ones also show less dust, just as a by the way. Like black ones show a lot of dust. Same thing with the black car. So anyway, that's the PS5. It looks pretty cool. We still don't know whether it's something that we're going to buy. I know lots of people are just really not super excited about buying the PS5. And I understand that because of the way that they've been acting lately, I guess. And I don't know if I am necessarily going to buy one. This might be a decent console generation just because they might make use of the enhanced capabilities of an SSD in the way that we haven't used it on a PC. But it might also be the generation where everybody's really glad they went PC Master Race. I've considered, if I get a new PC, I've had my current PC for like 6 years now, rebuilding or building a new one and then getting one of those like Steam boxes to put on my TV, and then I could buy PC games and just stream them to the other device so I could play them in another room. There's a whole thing about workflow that I've talked about. I think I talk about it in the book, which is that it's really good to have your workspace and your play space separated. So I leave my workspace, which is this now very, very messy right now office, and I go into my living room to play games or to read. And I used to play a lot more PC games, but I found after I got the PS4 years ago at this point now, that just being able to walk away from my computer where I do all my writing, do all my music, do all my video work, and go to another room, it was like you release this part of your mind that's just obsessed with work and obsessed with your tasks. You kind of let that go and you're able to actually relax and unwind and transition away from that really active mind. And my mind gets so active thinking about work and thinking about stories all the time. To be able to go away from that and just read a book in a different room or play a game on the TV, that really has made a big difference for me. So I definitely am going to want to have options for playing games in my living room in the next generation, whether that's the Microsoft console or it's going to be Switch only for a while. And keep in mind, they've also set the precedent that there's going to be a mid-generation hardware revision. There's going to be a mid-generation hardware update, just like PS4 and Xbox One X, that will generally be an improvement on what's there. So if you wanted to wait for that mid-generation version, once all the games are out and you can really compare the game libraries, that is an option too. And that's really probably not a bad option as far as things go. Wait for that mid-generation console improvement. I think this is shipping with less than 1 terabyte of storage, even though it's an SSD, which means for a lot of people, that's not going to be enough. And they might have to pay a lot extra money for some kind of proprietary extra PCIe storage. It's supposed to be PCIe, solid state memory. So I don't know what's going to be happening there, but I know that that's an even more attractive option now. They're going to come out with a 2 terabyte version, and it'll be improved graphics chipset for the same price that it's coming out with this year, or maybe even lower. And other people are speculating it's going to be more than $500 to buy this thing, which is quite pricey as far as consoles go. So anyway, that's wasn't trending on Twitter, but dang, it was trending as far as I know with most things. I think the little trailer was trending on YouTube for sure, and you can check it out. It's a cool little trailer, and like I said, I appreciate the aesthetics, but definitely I would not be able to use this as a vertical thing in my living room at all. It's going to have to lay down flat somehow because I use shelves. That's how it goes. So anyway, newest book is coming out it's coming out Tuesday, June 16th, Tyrant's Gallow. Here's the cover. Bam. So if you haven't read the first one, City of Silver, make sure you're on my mailing list. I'm going to give away some copies. And my birthday's this week. I always do Hobbit birthday, do lots of giveaways this week. So make sure you stay tuned to the channel for that and are on my mailing list, deviousnpress.com/list to stay appraised of that. And the paperback will also be available pretty quickly here. So there's a paperback cover too. Bam. Not a full wrap like my last one because I designed this as an isolated image. but it still is going to look good with this gold and black. So it's going to be a good design. And there's maps, yes. If you get the ebook, you get the color map. If you get the, if you get the paperback, it's going to be black and white, obviously. But it looks good in black and white. And here's what it looks like with 4 colors: black, blue, green, red. So I usually do either like a 3 or 2 color version. And the other ones I've done just say red and black. And for this one, I just like, let's do blue for the ocean and blue for this. So I have 4 colors, maybe a little too colorful this time, but I don't know. Let me know what you think. Is 4 colors too many? Should I just stick with the black and red for the color versions of this? There's a color version behind me, which you probably can't see because I have the lights down. But anyway, let me know what you think aesthetically. Do you like it? And this has a lot of white space because they're in the ocean in this one. There's pirates. I don't want to give away too much of the plot, but there's pirates and lots of pirate-like escapades and a little bit of foul language for those of you who are sensitive to that. But how could pirates not cuss? There's going to be some cussing because there's a lot of sailors. So thanks so much, guys, and I'll see you guys next time.